Good morning and welcome to the new edition of Better Thyself. Now, who doesn't want to live a very long, very happy, and very meaningful life? And everybody, without any discrimination or sense of distinction, is always anxious to find the secret of leading a long, happy, meaningful life. Is there a way out? Tell me, where you get out of the bed in the morning, what do you want to do? When you crawl back into the net, what are you thinking? The full reasoning is the secret, if you know the reason. The secret to a long, happy, and contented, meaningful life lies in the Japanese word Ikigai. Ikigai is a word which means reason for being, not for living, but for being. It's similar to the French phrase raison d'être, but there's a difference. According to the Japanese culture, each individual and each action has an Ikigai. And if you can find out what your Ikigai is, you have reached a state of leading a really, really meaningful, happy life. There's a small village near Okinawa. About 2,000 people live there. And in that village, the number of the people who live past 1 century is the maximum. And these are the people who are not tired of life. They are bubbling with joy and happiness. So, the purpose is to find the meaning and the reason for doing something that you do. And if you can find the reason, then you can be sure that you are going to lead a happy, meaningful, long life. Now, there's no English translation of the word Ikigai. This is a combination of Japanese word ikuru. Ikuru means to live. And kai. Kai means realization of what one hopes for. Together, these two words define the concept of reason to living, or the idea of having a purpose in life. Ikigai also has very historical links. It originates from the word kai, which means shell. So you are in a shell, you have to come out of the shell. And the purpose is to add value to living. Now, this is the amazing thing. Earning money, becoming so-called successful is not the meaning of life, is not the purpose of life. Purpose of the life is much too different. And I had the occasion to go over there in that part of the world in Japan, and I found that in case you ask 4 questions yourself, whenever you do something, and if you can find the answers to these 4 questions, you would have found your Ikigai. The first question you can ask is, what do you love? Are you doing something what you love? Or are you doing something which you do not love? And then the feeling which comes is part of Ikigai, because Ikigai is about feeling about your work, empathy with your work, a love affair with your work, and that makes a difference to your life. This Ikigai's first question. The second question, what are you good at? You might love being the president of your country, the prime minister of your country, but are you good at that? And getting your honest answer would give you a purpose of what you otherwise do. Then the third question, extremely important, is what does the word need from you? What you are doing, does it pertain to that need? Or are you working only to get 2 meals a day? Are you contributing to the word exactly what the world needs from you? Each individual has a certain specialty, certain capability. So are you performing that, giving back to the world what the world has given you? And the last is financial. I'm not talking only those metaphysical things. I'm talking of the reality. We need money. We need financial stability. What can you get paid for? So if you love something, if you think that what you are doing, the world needs from you and you are good at it, are you being compensated adequately for that? And how can you live today, not tomorrow? How can you live today, live a longer and a healthier life? Now, when you know these questions and you know the answers to these questions, quite possibly you would have found an Ikigai, but there's a caution. There has to be balance in all the 4 areas. You see, what happens is, and that's what the Westerns, now I'll come to the reality. The Westerns say things that balance in these 4 areas. What you love, what you're good at, what the world needs from you, and what are you compensated. You have found your Ikigai. It's a route to Ikigai. No, it's not sufficiently. It's a quick interpretation. This is Ikigai for the dummies. But in Japan, the real Ikigai is a very slow process. And it has nothing to do with work or with the compensation. For them, compensation is something automatic. What you do is something automatic. You know, I had a discussion with one of the professors of anthropology in Hong Kong, Gordon Matthews. And he told me that people understand Ikigai when they do not know the base of it, Ikigai. There are 2 major Japanese concepts which underlie Ikigai. And each one of them is important. One is etiken, and the other is jiko jitsugen. Now, what's etiken? Etiken is a sense of oneness with a commitment to a group or a role. The group can be your family, a group can be your community, a group can be your state, group can be people working in your office, it can be your country. So, are you feeling at oneness? When you come to them, do you feel and have a sense of identity with them? And are you committed to them? In case you have identity with them, and if you are committed to them, you have got etiquette. And the second is jiko jitsugen. Jiko jitsugen relates to self-realization. So you are a part of that group, but you are also realizing yourself. What I referred to earlier, are you loving being in that group? Are you contributing to that group that the other group needs from you? You don't need to cater to the whole world. Your unit is that small unit, that small group, be it a family, be it the social work, be it the office environment, are a community group. And in case you are likely to see that, then of course, definitely, you are doing something great. Now let's come to that. Ikigai in life is there and tells you that you have something to live for. Now this again comes to the question of existing and living. Existing is mere eating, breathing, and walking. And as I often say, even the ants move, even the snails eat, even the worms breathe. You are not a snail. You are not a worm. You are not an ant. You are a human being. So there must be a purpose in life. You have got to live for something. And but it's not a life choice. It is nothing grand or extraordinary. It's a matter of fact. What you are doing immediately. Say you are cooking. Do you love cooking? And are you going to, does your family need it? Are your group needs it? Are you happy doing it? So these questions. And are you good at it? If you are cooking and you're not good at it and the people will not be able to enjoy it, there's no fun in that. First be an expert in that and then do it. So it's just a matter of fact that whatever you are doing, you should be good at that. You should love doing that. The world should need it from you. There should be a sense of commitment. Now, there is there are blue zones, the areas where the people live longest. Concept of Ikigai prevails over there. Very few places are there. But combined with your sport network, now here it is. If the word needs you, then you also need that word. So the sport system has got to be there. And that is what matters. But once you know Ikigai, is that sufficient? Is that the end of everything? Ikigai by itself or knowing Ikigai by itself is not sufficient. You have got to see that Ikigai is translated into reality. And one thing more, Ikigai is not something permanent. Today you can have a different Ikigai, tomorrow you can have a different Ikigai. As I said in the beginning, when you get up in the morning, are you getting up? Do you love doing it? Do you need to do it? Are you going to contribute something? So your Ikigai is different. When you crawl back into the bed, the Ikigai is different. So Ikigai keeps on changing. And you are to be consistently be on search for your Ikigai. Because for anyone who works, lives with a purpose and a reason for living, this is a belief that enriches you, enhances your capabilities, and gives you certain harmony. And that harmony leads to a real, happy, and meaningful life. Without, the Ikigai, you will not do it. Now, the athletes have a very short life. So the Ikigai, when they're athletes, is indulging in that sport or that activity which is they are expert at. But once they retire, or when you retire, your Ikigai would change. When you are young, your Ikigai might be studying. When you are middle-aged, your Ikigai might be your career, your work, your vocation, your profession. When you retire, your Ikigai might be the world as a whole. And yourself, your peace of mind, your family, how you connect with them. So Ikigai would keep on changing every time with every action, with every change. And it's up to you to ensure and find out your Ikigai. Without Ikigai being there, you can live. There's no problem. Or rather, you can exist. But if you want to live, then you need to have a purpose. You know, what they call is helping people live longer. But not longer by itself. An animal can live for thousands of years. But does it contribute? Ikigai enables you to contribute. You take from the world and you give back to the world. And you love doing it. With Ikigai, if you have understood Ikigai, and not only Ikigai, but also Etikan and Jiko Jitsukan, then you would understand that you don't have to become an ascetic to lead a meaningful life. You don't have to be the president and CEO. Being an ordinary human being, carrying on your day-to-day activities, you can lead a really, really happy, contented, and meaningful life. Remember, Ikigai is a secret to that. The reason for your being there, if you know the reason of your being there, if you know the reason why you're working, and you love doing what you are, you have found your Ikigai, and you are on road to a meaningful life. Thank you.